According to Brian Herbert, the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. A pleasant day to each and everyone, especially to our professor, Dr. Charlemagne Yunes Buhos. Good day to you, ma'am. I am Mrs. Aname Matunhay Kabasan, your second reporter for today. And I am tasked to discuss about the positive impact of learning organization, benefit of learning organization, and the challenges in the transformation of the learning organization. Learning organization is a group of people working together collectively to enhance their capacities to create results they really care about. Organizational learning involves individual learning and those who make the shifts from traditional organization thinking to learning organization develop the ability to think critically and creatively. So let us now discuss about the positive impact of learning organization. Organization actively creates, transfers, and mobilizes knowledge to enable it to adapt to a changing environment. Thus, the key aspect of organizational learning is the interaction that takes place among individuals. A learning organization does not rely on the passive or ad hoc process in the hope that organizational learning will takes place through serendipity or by the byproduct of normal work. A learning organization actively promotes, facilitates, and rewards collective learning because we want superior performance and competitive advantage for customers' relations, to avoid decline, to improve quality, to understand risk and diversity more deeply. For innovation, for our personal and spiritual well being, to increase our ability to manage change, for understanding, for energized, committed workforce, to expand boundaries. We have here also to engage in community, for independence and liberty, for awareness of the critical nature of interdependence and time demand. What are the main benefits of learning organization? We have here maintaining levels of innovation and remain competitive, being better placed to respond to external pressures, having the knowledge to better link resources to customers' needs, improving quality of outputs at all levels, improving corporate image by becoming more people-oriented, increasing the pace of change within the organization. Even within or without learning organization, problems can stall the process of learning or cause it. Advantage increasing demands because of these global trends, the value of human capital is even greater than ever before. Knowledge of key personnel within the organization can be made explicit, codified in manuals, and incorporated into new products of processes. Leads to responsible decision making, enough knowledge to allow them to make educated choices so that the result of that engagement occurs when satisfaction, motivation, and effectiveness intersect. When we explore them from a practical perspective, we see that each is actually a distinct and unique concept, and that all of the three are required components of engagement environment, both internal and external. I have here a figure showing the positive impact of learning organization. We can see here it enriches leadership capacity. It owns the experience, then from change to transformation. So those are the positive impact of learning organization. We have here also other benefits of learning organization. First, maintaining levels of innovation and remaining competitive, having the knowledge to better link resources to customers' needs, improving quality of outputs at all levels. Increase the pace of change within the organization, strengthening sense of community in the organization, improving long-term decision making, and improving knowledge sharing. When there are benefits of learning organization, there are also challenges in the transformation to a learning organization. So what are those challenges? Is stubbornness and resistance to change. This is a prevalent mostly in environments with individuals who have been at their jobs for a long time and are set in their ways. Older companies have their hard time with organizational learning if they have older career people working for them who feel they knew darn well how to do their jobs and want to have some young guns telling them how to do it better. This kind of mentality is inevitable and all human beings are prone to it. So it is a first and most severe barrier to overcome. This is where the leaders must be able to win them over and make them understand that it is for their benefit, not determined that changes and new ideas are being brought in. Second challenge is ignoring purple elephants. There are often problems and situations in the professional environment that everyone knows about, but nobody wants to discuss it. This is maybe the result of being a sensitive subject that could result in offensive, or possibly something that collective is upsetting to the whole, resulting in the innate desire to turn the other way. These things, however, unpleasant must be discussed openly through or though with discretion. If problem exists that go ignored, then learning dynamics will ultimately fail as a result. So one must never ignore the purple elephants because they will trample everyone in time. The next one is lack of direct leadership. Leadership that is overly passive isn't going to get the job done with organizational learning, while some passive mellow mindset helps in leadership with modern culture. Leaders need to be present and involved in every aspect of learning to motivate people and give them the resolve and confidence they need to press on. Leaders must ask difficult questions and be a little tough where need to be. Tough love isn't always a bad thing. Next one is disregard of team success. In many corporate cultures, a mindset sinks in the congratulations and adoration of personal accomplishment. But a sense of them spirit and unity isn't really there. Beyond a sense of zeitgeist within the company as a whole, teamwork is viewed as a means to an end and not something to be valued itself. For organizational learning to be successful, then team success and unity must be valued equally to it to if not more than individual success and prosperity. One is lack of value for learning. In some environment, learning for the sake of knowledge and wisdom itself isn't present, which can result in a disregard by parts of the whole for the new learning being introduced. The problem here is that for the organization to be trained as a unit, some individuals must learn new information they don't immediately need to apply. When individuals don't value new learnings and growth for its own sake, this will make the aspect of organizational learning very difficult and troublesome overall. The next one is short-term focus. In business, it's often easy to focus on stopgaps to solve short-term problems without looking at the big picture. When uh, when one is in a leadership position that isn't so grandiose as a CEO or the like, this is often necessary in order to carry on with things. Unfortunately, this is a mistake in organizational learning, as the big picture must always be a of, uh, focus of all involved. This includes the people learning as well as the leadership in charge. The last challenge is too much control. While being organized and planned out is always valuable, it is often an unintentional habit for leaders to abuse charts and graphs and the like when planning out organizational learning like any other procedure. The problem is that this kind of thing will frustrate those involved, and the act of charting and plotting everything will take on the mind of its own. It is best to keep the plotting and charts simple. They are needed, but only in a small doses most of the time. It believes that by referring to the notion of learning organization, it was possible to make changes less threatening and more acceptable to participants. However, individual and collective learning, which has undoubtedly taken place, has not really been connected to organizational changes and transformation. Part of the issue it suggests to do with the concept of the learning organization itself. They argue that the concept of the time should be spent on the actual issue of the organization and its daily issues. So to combat this challenge, a strategy must be built. The organization should determine what its problem are before entering into the transformation. Training should remain linked to the business results so that it is easier for the employees to connect to the training with everyday issue. And we should always remember that we never stop learning. And that ends my report for today. Thank you very much everyone for listening and have a nice day.